Good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon. Um, Giving you guys a chance to get in here and me a chance to get all of this stuff and share with everyone and stuff like that. I'm excited. I'm excited about today. I'm gonna give y'all guys a few minutes. I still need to go ahead and share this information. So if you're coming in here, make sure you share it. Like, share, invite other people, all of that wonderful stuff. Um, Bear with me a few minutes. This has been a rough Tuesday, but we're going to get through this together. I don't want to do notifications. Gotta love technology. It's fastly becoming my weak point. I'm sorry. My head has been bothering me like all day, so I am working through this whole braid hair thing. Mm-mm-mm. Okay, so it's showing up there, so now I can share it. Um, Bear with me a few seconds. Mm-mm-mm. We're going to go ahead and share this to a couple of groups. Y'all got a couple of minutes to get in here. And then we're going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to probably get started about 2:10. And that's going to make me really happy. Bear with me just a few seconds. We got a few minutes, so yay. That's always the fun part when people have time to jump in here. Um, yeah, I'm sorry, but Facebook means I have to invite groups one at a time, so it's not always the fastest method, but hey, it gets the job done. The cool thing is if you have questions, you can always post them and I will respond because that's the part that I like. Mm-mm-mm-mm. I only have a few groups left, so yay. Mm-mm. When you get here, say hi, good afternoon, and all of that wonderful stuff. I love hearing and talking. That's my favorite part. So do that. So make sure if you have questions that you're posting them because I like questions. That makes everything that I do so much easier. Mm-mm. I just got a few groups left to post to, and then we're just going to go ahead and get started here. Um, I know it'd be tough for me sometimes. This one is actually a really good thing. In fact, somebody actually asked me to talk about this, the credit trap, because there's so much stuff that we do that even after we have fixed the negatives on our credit profile that we do that actually hurts our credit and impedes or derails our progress towards that 750 and just not only getting but maintaining good credit. And at the end of the day, that's what it's really all about, is making sure that you not just had but have good credit, because that's the gateway to a better lifestyle and we want you to kind of have a better lifestyle. So that's what we're here for. If this is your first time joining, definitely say hi. If this ain't your first time joining, say hi. Again, I am Millie. I think it shows up. Yeah, Millie Gunn with Credit One USA. I am a certified financial educator, and this is kind of what I do. In addition to helping individuals one-on-one with credit repair, debt management, debt settlement, and score building assistance, I come live every Tuesday at 2 p.m. Central Standard Time to talk about credit, what it means to you, how to help you to improve your credit, and different credit, just all over credit education and information, because that's our give back as part of the 750 Score Challenge. The motto of the 750 Score Challenge is better homes, better loans, better opportunities, better communities. So I appreciate you guys for jumping in here and joining in with us. And if you give me 2 minutes, I'm going to actually go ahead and get started, because I said at 2:10 I was going to start, and I really, really mean at 2:10 I'm going to start. So I'm excited about you guys joining here. Yeah. So now that I got all of the business out of the way, let's go ahead and talk about today's topic. So today's topic is the credit trap. Now, why am I talking about credit trap? Well, because it's really important. The biggest thing that we see is you get these people who have done all of the work to get their credit right, and then all of a sudden, boom, it goes back down, and everybody's like, man, I was doing so good. What happened? How did I get here? Millie, fix it. And I can't always just fix it that easy. So first and foremost, let's talk about it. um let's talk about the trap. What is the trap? The trap is anything that causes you to move backwards. So it could be spending traps, it could be making just a minimum payment trap, it could be high interest trap, it could be the terms and conditions trap. There's a lot of different traps that you get in there. And all of them individually as well as collectively help to impede your borrowing and your credibility with lenders, which means credit costs more. And because I don't want credit to cost more, I want to discuss a couple of these traps with you today. That being said, I got a cute little video because I told y'all everything that I do, I'm going to start using videos for and little presentations so you guys can follow along. So with that, here we go. It's the credit trap. The goal is to learning the pitfalls so that you don't get caught in the credit trap. Yeah, I like to use bars because it's kind of indicative of how it works. So the very first credit trap is spending more than you earn. A lot of people use their credit cards and or loans to pay for expenses that you could not otherwise afford. Another example of that is carrying balances, but we're going to talk about that more later. But the big thing with that is, if this thing costs $100 and you don't have $100, putting that $100 on your credit card means it's now going to cost you $100 plus interest. If you couldn't afford 100, you can't afford 100 plus. So a lot of times we tend to spend our way into a trap because we put this on our credit card. I remember, as a matter of fact, this month I did this with one of my cards. It's not necessarily all of them, but I had been paying this card down, and I think I got the balance down to $3,300. So I was doing really good. Let's just know this balance was really significant. Well, then I had a break in and I needed to buy a new laptop. So put that on the card because I'm gonna get paid back for that. So then I needed a new mouse because the mouse came with I had a mouse before with the laptop and I needed a new one. So I put that on the credit card. And then I need a bag to carry it in. So I put that on the credit card. And I looked up the other day and the credit card is at $100 roughly. So I had paid this thing down and I was doing good, but because I wasn't actually paying attention to it because it's on credit cards instead of me, counting out the cash, I messed up. And it caught me before the report date. So now it reported a high utilization to the credit bureaus. The good thing is I have other credit cards that offset it, but because the utilization is so high, I actually messed it up. That's a trap. So it looks like I'm doing that, which is also considered carrying over a balance. But the other thing that we do is over borrowing. And this is really important because what happens is, so my credit cards are high. The next thing that I'm going to do is I get an offer in the mail. Or I look on my precious, precious, precious Credit Karma, and it says you could potentially get a $17,000 loan and then pay off all your credit cards. And that sounds wonderful because I want to get off these credit cards because I know credit cards have a bigger impact to my account than this. The problem is when I get these credit cards, because of this, what happens is I'm trying to move money around instead of actually paying it off. And shuffling debt doesn't actually get rid of it. And lenders know this. And one of the things that they've come up with the new version of FICO is if you have unsecured credit card debts, unsecured personal loans, they'll treat it just like credit cards, which means you're still going to get those negative points to your credit report. And a lot of times with these loans, they're consumer finance loans, which means it actually costs you more than if you were to just keep your credit card because you're going to pay a loan origination fee and then you're going to pay all these other huge fees, which means you kind of could have kept the credit card and not had a new bad account. So we do that. And what happens, and like I said, the definition is attempting to use loans to pay off debts that put you in a better financial situation. But what typically happens is consumers end up owing more than the additional debt and have a harder path towards financial stability because not only do you do that, but because you rolled it over, now you have this free credit card and you go back and you do the same thing. So now you got this loan to pay for the credit cards that were maxed out. Now you have maxed out credit cards and a loan for the maxed out credit cards. So now you're paying twice. And it's a higher amount. So the third thing is not reading. Always, always, always read the terms and conditions. You will see stuff and it'll say, oh, your car payment is $348 a month. And you're like, okay, that ain't bad for 72 months. That might be a little bad for this 2012. And that's what happens. Lenders hide the details in the terms and conditions. Now, I know the Truth in Lending Act says that they have to spell it out, but even with them spelling it out, they make things big and they kind of distract you from that. And they tell you stuff like you could do it and you can trade it in. Does it say that in writing, though? If it's not written, it's not real. It's not part of the terms and conditions if they said it to you orally. Written contracts are what's enforceable. How are you going to enforce something that they said? Because now it becomes a he said versus she said situation when there's paperwork that doesn't agree with what you're saying. So before you sign, before you accept, before you walk away from the car lot, before you close on the house, before you get the credit card, before you send in your money, what are the terms and conditions? Is this actually something you can afford and want to afford? Because just because you're approved doesn't mean you want it. So there's that. The next thing is saying yes. So here's the thing. Once we start improving our credit, we start getting a lot of offers in the mail. You get your credit card offers, and every Tuesday you're getting a new credit card offer, and you're getting these loans in the mail, and your score is going up. So you get your Walmart offer, and then you get your Target offer, and you get your not see. I always say Sears with that, but it's usually not Sears. It's usually Walmart, it's Target, Credit One Bank, First Premier Bank, Merrick Bank, Open Sky. They're all just start sending you mail and sending you. And you didn't used to get offers, so it feels really, really good to get those offers in the mail. The problem is this what you wanted? Or are you just getting it because they said yes? So you get the high interest credit card because they say yes, and then you turn around and you get another credit card because they say yes, and then you get the secure account because somebody thought it was a good idea and they told you and you say yes, and then you get this loan because they said you could get $4,000 and that sounded really good, and now you have all of this debt that you don't need, and your score drops, and now you can't get the stuff that you really wanted to get because you were saying yes to the things that were sent to you because you could get something. And that's part of the trap. The trap is, hey, if I catch you right here at mediocrity, you don't ever have to get to the next level because boom, I got you. Some of these accounts, just by showing up on your credit, hurt you. Consumer finance loans, loans like OneMain, Springleaf, World Omni Finance, just their being on your credit is a negative impact. It doesn't matter that you pay them off. It doesn't matter that you're never late. It doesn't matter that you even pay them off fast. Just their presence hurts your credit. So you don't want to do that. One of the things you want to make sure you do is have a plan for your credit in advance. Say what you want and get that. Don't just apply because it was offered to you. That's not what you want. You don't buy a new car every time somebody sends you a flyer in the mail for a car. Don't do it with credit cards either. Which brings me to the other one that we talked about earlier. Part of the credit trap is rolling over the balance. Paying only the minimum payment. This is a really big thing that people encourage, especially the lenders. Oh, as long as you make your minimum payment, that's great. Just pay $5 over your minimum payment. That's it. No, that's how you end up giving the creditor more money. And you work hard for this money. So you don't want to give it away. You want to make sure you can keep your money. And the only way you can make sure that you keep your money is by paying your bills on time, early, and off. So the thing is this, a lot of people say, as long as you make the minimum payment, you're good. Or I've even heard some lenders say, not lenders, I've heard some people say, I was told that I got to keep a balance on the credit card for it to report every month. You don't have to have a balance for it to report. The credit cards are going to report monthly because that's what they're required to do. That's the type of credit card it is. Not having a balance does not mean they won't report. They just report a zero balance. And if you've had credit challenges in the past, to improve your credit worthiness, you probably don't need to carry a balance. There are a few exceptions to that. And if you're an exception to that, then you should know. Now, how do you know that? Bad advice. That's the other credit trap. This is the biggest credit trap of all, is bad advice. So like I just said, you get somebody who says something like, oh, you got to keep a balance on your credit card, or as long as you keep your balance at 50% of the limit, you're fine. That's not true. That's not true. Your credit situation is as unique as you are, and what may work for someone else won't work for you. I can keep one of my credit cards at a 50% balance. The reason I can do that is because I got 5 other credit cards that are at a zero balance. So, in all, I'm still under 6% utilization, which means I'm in the sweet spot for great credit. And that's what works for me. 6% works for me. You might need to be at 1%. You may need to only have your balance at 1%, or you may need to actually pay that credit card off. Your credit profile is as unique as you are. So you want to find an expert. Not everyone knows about your credit. And because they don't know about your unique situation, you want to make sure that they are working for you to help you build your credit. Now, of course, as always, if you have any questions about that, you can always call me, Millie Gunn with Credit One USA. You can reach us out to us. Our address is 3125 University Drive, Suite B, right here in Huntsville, Alabama. Our phone number is 855-273-3663. You can always visit us online at www.creditoneusa. You can email us at customercare@creditoneusa, or you can visit us on Instagram, YouTube, or Facebook. So there's a whole bunch of ways to reach us. Make sure you do if you have any questions or comments. So with that, I'm done. That was it. That was literally the whole trap. That was how you get over the whole trap. So I'm going to hang out with you guys for a few minutes. And if I get some questions, I'm going to answer that. But if by 2:30 I don't have any questions, I'm going to jump off of here because I actually got 7 missed calls since I've been online. So people want to talk to me and I want to talk back. Do that. Nope, I don't want to put the video in there. So I'm going to look out for your questions and be a little quiet. In the meantime, I'm going to send an email. All right, got that work done. So I'm gonna give y'all a couple minutes and then I'm gonna jump off of here because I got a lot to do and I don't see a lot of questions. And that makes me either very happy or very, very sad. We'll see. Mm-mm-mm. Hmm. All right, good people. Seeing how I don't have any questions, I'm going to go ahead and jump off of here. And I will see you guys next week for Talk to Me Tuesday again, right here on Facebook and YouTube. So join us live 2 p.m. Central Standard Time, 3 o'clock Eastern, for next week's edition of Talk to Me Tuesday. Until then, I want you guys to practice social distancing, do whatever you can to avoid what is it? Corona, COVID. I don't know. All of these little things. Corona. What is the corona flu? Whatever. COVID. Whatever. Don't get sick, y'all. Don't be getting these weird sicknesses that people don't recover from. So wash your hands, use hand sanitizer, practice social distancing, wear your mask, get your shots, stay home, whatever it takes to stay safe. So until next time, take care of yourselves and each other. And again, thanks for tuning in for this week's edition of Talk to Me Tuesday with Millie from Credit One USA. I'll see you guys next week.